Good morning. Right, completed week 3. I've had to shut myself here in the plant room, keep the dogs out because they were running around and trying to play while I was in here trying to film, and I don't trust them. They knock plants over. Right, had a big weigh in again this morning, and I've lost another 1.8 kgs, which is very good. So all up in the 3 weeks, I've lost 6 kgs altogether, which I suppose you could average it out and say 2 kgs a week, which is great. I was just opting for 1 kg a week, and you know, I'm more than happy with that. I'd like to lose at least another 4 kgs before the end of August. I'm going on a trip to Auckland with my friend, and we're going to an orchid show and to purchase some orchids, and I would really like to have lost 10 kgs by the time I go on that trip, but no pressure. If I don't lose another 4 kgs, I mean, I should do. I think it's about 4 weeks, just over 4 weeks before we go, so, no, 3 weeks before we go, so, I might be pushing it a bit, but we'll see. So I've got my coffee. I've decided I am going to have a coffee when I chat to you guys on the, I upload this. It's Tuesday at the moment, so and I'll upload it today. Hopefully it'll upload because I've had problems with my internet recently. So things are going great. I have noticed a little bit around some of my clothing. Some of my trousers are feeling a lot looser than they were. And my friend, bless her, said she can notice it a bit in my face, which is great. But I've still got a fair bit to go. I'm pretty upbeat. I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. There's been a couple of times when I've almost succumbed to having a chunk of cheese or something. There isn't very much in the house now around containing sugar. I think I've got a couple of packets of ginger nuts and some biscuits, and a few things that are left over in the cupboard from when my son was here. But I'm not, I'm quite happy to keep those packets of biscuits if I have any visitors, because I'd like to give them something. But generally, it doesn't bother me. That food doesn't bother me. And there's a few bags of crisps and things in the cupboard, and they're flavours I don't like anyway. So my husband's slowly finishing that off. But other than that, we don't have any big sugar content foods, what I call grab and stuff foods, which is great. So that's not going to tempt me. Obviously, we've got jams still, and various other chutneys and things like that. But I'm not a big chutney eater anyway, so I'm not bothered about that. So things are going well. My green dinner. Is it my green dinner? Yeah, my green dinner or my green table. Can't remember. But anyway, we've had that for a week, and it's been very successful. I'd say that out of the 5 meals, or 6 meals now, because we had one last night, I probably would say 3 of them I would happily eat again. The others, so there's about half of them. The others I could sort of take it or leave it. It's not something I would obviously order in a restaurant. And I've ate it because it's the meal. That's my evening meal. But yeah, I could take it or leave it really. And it's not because it's not got meat in it or anything like that. It's just some of the flavours that I'm not used to. I noticed like quite a lot of garlic was in some of them. And I'm not really a big garlic fan. Not that I could really taste it once you cooked it. So overall, they've been all right. We had another delivery Sunday for this week, and I did a stir fry last night, which was very nice. I did like that one, and but it's a huge quantity. We ordered, or my husband, the best value to order was the large family one, which we did, which was 159 for 5 meals for a family of 5. two adults, three children, three smaller children, and it's way too much food. I mean, what we had last night, we both had some last night. There was enough for my husband to take some to work, and there's enough left over for us to have it again tonight, which means we won't be eating tonight's meal. So I'm sort of, I can't really freeze what we had last night, but we did have a soup last week, and I was able to freeze some of that, and there was another thing that we had, and I was able to freeze that as well. So I've cancelled it for at the end of this week, so I won't be having it for the following week, because we're going to have a little rest from it and use up, what we got in the freezer. Plus, I've got a lot of products here that I need to start thinking about using up, which is, like frozen foods, berries. I do have chicken and some beef in the freezer, though, because I'm not a vegan as such. We just picked that diet because that particular company, because they were reasonable price, and like I say, my husband's colleague had done it and lost a fair bit of weight and was happy with it. So, but we will go on it again, but we're going to pick the couple's 3-day plan, which is the cheapest one, which is $99, so that if there are any leftovers and there's enough to do another meal the next day, then we will. If not, my husband will take it for lunch, and then, the in-between days I'll have to figure out what we're going to have. So, so that's been okay. So I will do it again. Got my coffee. I've decided that I'm only going to have coffee when I speak to you guys. I've only had about 4, maybe 5 coffees in 3 weeks, so I don't think that's too bad. So that's okay. What else have I noticed? I've noticed I'm feeling that I've got a little bit more energy. It's Dexter trying to get Ruby to play. A little bit more energy. I feel that I'm a bit more alert, a bit more, I don't feel so tired. I'm not sleeping in the afternoons, whereas I used to sleep every afternoon, like I said before. I would sit down in the afternoon and have my lunch and sit down and just look at YouTube or whatever I was going to do, listen to my story, and forget it. I guarantee I'd fall asleep every afternoon. So I haven't been sleeping in the afternoons, which is great. I'm still getting quite a large amount of sleep at night. Like, I went to bed at 10 last night, and I didn't wake up until sort of a woke up when my husband went to work, and then the next thing I know, I woke up and it was 8 o'clock. So I'm probably having still a little bit too much sleep, but I'm figuring as the better weather comes on, because we're in winter in New Zealand, and the lighter mornings come, I would rather get up earlier and take the dogs out earlier for the walk. So I'm hoping that's gonna, the lighter mornings is gonna wake me up more. So that'll be good. So all in all, things are going well. I really thought it would be harder than this, to be honest with you. I know it's very early days, it's only 3 weeks, but I've still got that determination about me that I'm going to do it. I'm still on the road. I need to do it, like I say, for my health. And and I've got really good support from my friends, and like I say, my husband. And a lady on here, Margaret Boone, I think her surname is, I'm not quite sure, but Margaret. Thank you, Margaret, for your support. I really do appreciate it. And it's great to have that support, because it does help. It helps you keep on track. It keeps me motivated to keep going. And so that's really good. And plus, one stage here we were thinking about selling up and moving on, and getting something a bit more manageable, because, I'm on quite a large garden section here. We've got 10 acres, and I was struggling a little bit with some of the tasks. Like last year, some of the tasks I started to find quite difficult. And you know, and we thought, well, if I can't manage it, then we need to sell it. And we were seriously thinking about that. But I feel now I'm on this new lifestyle, shall we say, won't call it a diet. And I feel that if I can lose quite a bit of weight, then I'm going to feel fitter. I'm going to want to be more active, and I think I will be able to continue to stay here and manage things. So we're going to put a hold on it for a little while, probably a couple of years, and see how we go. And if it all works okay and it works out fine, then, you know, we'll stay here as long as we can, because I love it here. I love having the big garden. I've got, you know, as you know, I've got an orchid house that they're full of orchids. I got this room full of plants. I mean, if we were to move into an urban area, the house is going to be far smaller than what we've got here. And so will the garden. And I'd have to have a purpose-built greenhouse, you know, pay for a purpose-built greenhouse, and that would be quite expensive. So it would be an awful lot to think about, you know, with all this, plus all the stuff we got. My husband's got masses of stuff. So we've decided to stay here for at least for a couple more years. And in that time, we're going to have a serious decluttering. Not only am I going to shift all the fat, I'm going to shift all the rubbish and crap around the house. Stuff we really don't need. I mean, I've got coats and things that I brought from the UK. My husband bought from the UK. And I've never had them on my back in the 13 years or 14 years that we've been here. So, you know, I've moved them from house to house. Why am I hanging on to them? So we're going to have a big charity run. I'm going to start having a big clean out, you know, over these coming weeks and months, and get rid of quite a bit of stuff. And that'll be great. So you could say I'm hoping to get a whole new lease of life. And yeah, so anyway, so I'll ring off for now, or sign off, ring off. That shows my age, doesn't it? Ring off. I'll sign off for now. And if anything interesting happens, I'll catch up with you in the week. If not, I'll do another vlog next week, you know, with another weigh in and see how it goes. So if there's any of you out there watching, by the way, that are thinking of doing this and giving it a go, I would recommend it. I mean, it's baby steps to start with, and you know, just give it a go. And you know, there is support out there. I'm sure if you mention it to your family and friends, they'll be willing to support you. And you know, so just give it a go. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Please like or dislike and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you next week. Bye for now.